Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Chubbs Reviews where I bring you a review every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And today's a special video where I've actually been nominated from people inside the film community to do a top 10 favorite movie from each genre of 10 genres. This is like my list, my objective, like what I like. And many people have done this in the film community. Stay tuned towards the end of the video or even skip to the end of the fucking video to check out some of the channels that I'm going to shout out and maybe one or two channels that I would like to do this challenge, but a lot of people have already done the challenge. Shout out to Let's Be Real at Brad, first of all, for nominating me. I'm very new to the film community. I'm just not on everyone's channel, and I'm trying to get to be able to, broaden my horizons of knowing who everyone is. And I just didn't expect to be nominated, and I like that I'm nominated because I get to share my opinion with good movies with you guys, or at least my very special list. I've checked out tons of other videos of people's lists, and I kind of wanted my own unique one, and I think I have a pretty unique list here. So starting off, we have the favorite action movie of all time. I mean, there's so many movies that are in the action adventure genre, and sci-fi, and it's all connected. So I'm trying to choose definitive things. And my favorite action scenes from a movie of all time come from a movie called Old Boy, a South Korean film. I think came out in 2003. There is like a 2017 or 2013 remake of it. Do not watch that one first. At least watch the 2003 South Korean Old Boy film about a man who basically gets kidnapped, or not kidnapped, but imprisoned in a hotel room for like 15 years, and he doesn't know why, and then eventually gets let out one day, and he has to discover who put him there, why he was there, and all this shit. But basically, why it's my favorite action movie is it has the legendary fight scene in which it is one take of this long hallway, and you see Odaisu, the main character, basically take on all these men in just, like I said, one take. It's like one of the most realistic looking action scenes. I mean, sometimes, he's punching and you can tell it's like a fake punch, but it's because it's all in one take. People are really falling over tired. People are missing their hits. People are hitting him hard as hell. He gets stabbed in like the middle of the fight and gets up and still fights. It is just a brilliant take, and many movies and shows have tried to recreate it. Like Daredevil season 1 tries to do it in a scene. The Preacher show, I think on Amazon, also tries to redo it at one point. So Old Boy action scene, at least check out that action scene. It's dope. My favorite adventure movie of all time. A lot of people choose, Indiana Jones or Lord of the Rings. I think I'm a popcorn flick type of guy. My favorite adventure movie that I can remember when I was younger was The Mummy with Brendan Fraser, and that's all I can really remember who acted in the movie. But they had three main characters. Brendan Fraser was he's out there looking for some type of treasure that leads him to like the undead city, and basically an Indiana Jones type vibe. Brendan Fraser's character, I remember he always had two pistols, dual wielding, and he has this girl that he's with that's like a librarian that's very interested in stuff going on. And then you have her brother that's like this, just all these archaeologists, basically people going on an adventure to discover an actual dead city. And eventually you come across the title card character, the Mummy, and it just gets more intense. And it could be an action movie, but I think it's an adventure movie at heart. It's got some good comedy in there. It's just like my favorite 1999 popcorn flick is just The Mummy. Third up was animation. I mean, you can go with some really good classics here, like Toy Story, Finding Nemo, or even comic book wise like Spider-Verse. But for me, my favorite animated movie like today, like if I had to choose one now, would probably be, Treasure Planet. Treasure Planet is not critically acclaimed. I think it's one of the biggest flops for Disney of all time, but it has a small cult of following, and I'm part of that following. I really love Treasure Planet, especially as an animation movie. Just such a unique world in Treasure Planet. I kind of remember, I don't remember the characters' names much. The weakest part about the movie is the characters, which is not something you want in a Disney movie. But the animation itself, the world itself, there's like a city on the moon. I will never forget that. Spaceships are like pirate ships, and they just can fly in space. It makes no sense. And there's just all these unique sci-fi looking characters, like aliens and Long John Silver, and just it was just epic little pirate adventure in space. Like that is just cool as shit to me. It's based off the novel Treasure Island, I think, but they basically put their own spin on it and put it in space. I've always just really enjoyed the animation of like CGI and actual animation mixture in Treasure Planet. I think it was just done phenomenal, and it's such an underrated film. So for me, that's just my favorite animation movie. Comedy I had to kind of bounce around with, man. I like Pineapple Express as a fellow stoner. I like Superbad as just like an all-time classic. I probably shouldn't mention so many other movies, but my favorite comedy movie is Zombieland. Jesse Eisenberg, I think, best performance. I really wish I could remember everyone else that acted in that movie because this is just a very unprofessional top 10 video movie, I know. But man, just enjoy the little things, man. I'll never just forget that from that movie. Zombieland to me is just a movie I could watch a million times over. I remember Columbia, Wichita, I remember their names, Little Rock. I remember their names in the fucking movie more than I do the actors and actresses, or actors and actresses. So that's just, Zombieland to me is about a guy who has rules, a very nerdy guy who has rules in the zombie apocalypse, and he comes across these other people and has this little kind of adventure, zombie adventure with them. And there's like 5 people casted in the entire movie that aren't zombies, and it's still just such an entertaining ride. Too bad they ruined it with Zombieland 2. Next up, we got comic book movie. My favorite comic book movie. I mean, a lot of people chose Into the Spider-Verse. Spider-Man 2 is a great flick. Any fucking MCU movie is great. Logan from X-Men is probably the best X-Men movie. But my favorite comic book movie of all time, I almost have to debate this. This is probably really, obvious. The Dark Knight is just my favorite movie of all time in the comic book world. I could watch that forever. It just gives you the real sense of the Joker, the real sense of the dread that Batman is going through and his city being taken over. We got Two-Face being introduced in there. And like I said, Heath Ledger's Joker is just, not enough has been said about it, even though everything has been said about it. Only other movie I almost thought about choosing was Joker, like the actual Joker movie, but I feel like that's a little too new to just kind of throw on your all-time favorite list, especially when The Dark Knight has been solidified as greatness. So, Dark Knight, and it's just great. Favorite drama. The movie I chose for this, actually, when you look it up, is under thriller comedy. This movie is dramatic as shit. I feel like drama shit is going on. Parasite, another South Korean film, I believe. Parasite, I think, is on Hulu. Definitely just need to watch it. I know it sucks that you have to read subtitles. There's no English dub. But Parasite is just one of the greatest movies I've ever watched of all time. It deserved every award it got, I think, last year or the year before. Even the American awards, even though it's a Korean film, I don't care. It's just a truly good drama with amazing themes in it. Such good suspense. It's very thrilling. It does have comedy in it, but I wasn't really fucking laughing in the movie. I was being scarred. Ooh, yeah, excuse me. But no, it wasn't like, it's not like traumatizing. It's just a really unique story about a family that is poor trying to infiltrate a family that is really rich as life and doing it secretly, and then all this unraveling involved when the families are kind of together and inside the house that the movie's about. Just watch Parasite if you haven't. That's the one movie I can 100% recommend here, even though it's not in English. My favorite horror film of all time, in genre of horror, is probably 28 Days Later. Horror film is probably the hardest genre for me to pick. I do not like a lot of horror movies, not because I'm a scaredy cat. It's because horror movies for me suck. I am a scaredy cat. Scary games scare the shit out of me. Scary movies, I've never really been terrified of too many movies. But 28 Days Later, I think, redefines the zombie horror genre. 28 Days Later, to this day, has done zombies the best than any movie or any game ever. Maybe like something like Left 4 Dead or Dying Light has got some pretty decent zombies in there. But besides that, 28 Days Later is pretty much the definitive zombie game. Or not zombie game, zombie movie for me. And it's just very thrilling. It's the classic guy waking up from the hospital to realize zombie apocalypse is going on. And zombies at night just fully fucking sprint and want to kill you. It's like running fast as shit. Zombies are fantastic in 28 Days Later. Anyway, my favorite romance movie, basically your favorite chick flick here. This is how I took it anyway. The Best of Me. I actually have the Best of Me poster in the other room, which I'm not going to show you guys because that is embarrassing. But The Best of Me is one of my favorite fucking romances of all time. You gotta watch this movie, I think, if you like any chick flicks. I feel like not enough people talk about it. People talk about The Notebook, The Titanic, blah, blah, blah. The Best of Me, I can't think of the actor that plays in it, but he plays Cyclops from the X-Men movies, which is just cool to me. And it's just a really good movie with a lot of time passing in that movie. You show him when he's kind of a teenager, the couple, and then you show them when they're like in their 20s and their 40s, and they like always wish they were together, and then they couldn't be, and all this shit happens where he goes to jail when he was younger, and because he's trying to protect her, and he's got a fucked up family. It's just really good. I guess it could have been put in the drama category as well, but it's a fucking romance 100%. So I love The Best of Me. Really good romance movie. The best sci-fi movie. This movie could have probably been anywhere in this fucking list. It could have been an action. Well, I guess it could have just been an action. That's it. My favorite sci-fi is probably the most common movie on this list that everyone's probably chosen or heard of. Is The Matrix. The Matrix to me, it's what made me a Keanu Reeves stan. I mean, I know it's very common to be a Keanu Reeves stan, but fuck it, that's The Matrix is what made me that. I even like the whole trilogy. I don't like the Mummy trilogy. I mentioned the Mummy earlier. I don't like the trilogy. I like the first one. I actually like the Matrix trilogy. It's all pretty good. Obviously, the first one's the best, but it's just it all still is good for me. Great action. It set up a lot of the action and sci-fi things to come in the future, especially the trench coats and sunglasses and being the chosen one. I mean, I guess they stole that from Star Wars, but still, it's very. I just really enjoy The Matrix as a sci-fi movie of going, being in uh, a fake universe, and you have to take the red or the blue pill to come out of it, and just very interesting movie. Obviously, The Matrix is. There's not enough has been, or everything that's already been said about The Matrix has been said. So, yeah. Favorite Western movie? I actually am not going to give much details on this because I can barely remember any Westerns I've ever watched. Obviously, anything with Clint Eastwood is probably good. Everyone chose like Tombstone. The only Western movie I ever grew up watching that I can kind of remember is Young Guns. And that's it. That's all I can tell you about that movie. Is I remember watching it when I was younger. I kind of looked it up. I realized it didn't have the best critical acclaim, but I liked Young Guns. I didn't see many other people like mention it, so there's Young Guns for you. Okay, now for the people I would like to nominate, not I mean if you don't want to do this, you don't have to do this, but I would definitely like to nominate Still More Reviews. He just has excellent content, gaming and movies, and he doesn't have that many subscribers. It's kind of unbelievable how little his subscriber count is. So please go check out Still More Reviews. He's always commented on my videos, and I'll definitely leave a link in the description below. And yeah, I would like to see his top 10 genres of this. But if he doesn't want to do it, it's all good. I don't really care. I almost didn't want to do this. Channels I'd like to at least shout out that have already done this. Go check out their videos. They're probably way better than mine. Lost in the Real. I love Lost in the Real. Sean, I actually know his name because he puts it on his shit. So I really fuck with Sean. Let's Be Real with Brad. I already nominated, or he nominated me, so he's already done this. I'll have all these channels in the description down below. I'm really liking the Upside Dan. I've recently came across his channel because of Lost in the Real. I really enjoy the Upside Dan. Trying to think if I can forget anyone else. I think those are like the main channels I'm really watching right now. I am watching a little bit of everybody when I can get some time, but those are like my go-tos. Like I wake up, fucking drink some coffee, and watch these 4 YouTubers along with like other big guys. But anyway, yeah, I know I should nominate more people, but everyone has already either done it or just they're game reviewers, like they don't want to do this. So I'm sorry if it feels like I'm being selfish and not nominating more people. They've already done it. I feel like this trend is kind of dying right now. But it was a great adventure. It was great to see all these other people's movies. And now I'm just rambling at this point. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe down below. Please give me your list. If I didn't nominate you and you want to do this, fucking do it and say I nominated you. That's 100% cool with me. I will take full credit for it. I'll but anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next video. Peace out.